With the NBA season rapidly arriving, there are a lot of teams heading into their training camps and they're ready to contend. Teams like the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Heat, the Boston Celtics, all of these teams are ramping up towards another successful season. And while those teams at the top are out there meddling around and doing their contention stuff, you got teams like the Thunder, the Rockets, and the Pistons that are really looking forward to seeing their teams grow. And out of those bottom-feeding teams, the team that interests me the most is the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets have a lot of talent, and I don't think a lot of people talk about it. So, let's talk about it. It's your boy Chuck, and you know I get buckets. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you like my content. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with that content. I have like work and school, so it's kind of hard for me to get videos out, but I'm gonna try for you guys. Now, the Houston Rockets have a very interesting team. The roster consists of guys like Alperen Sengun, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., who they just drafted, and the list just goes on. To me, they just seem like they have a whole bunch of talent on that roster that just gets overlooked sometimes because they're not doing a lot of winning, and the teams that they're winning against are teams like the Wizards on a Tuesday or the Spurs on a Wednesday. No one really cares, but I want to give them a little bit of light. The two players that I'm really focused on in this video are Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. And I'll also talk about Alperen Sengun. Kind of brings the ceiling of this team a lot higher. So Jalen Green is just, he's a bucket, man. Like, there's nothing this kid can't do. Shot creation, athletic as hell, could shoot the ball. There's nothing he really can't do. Last season he didn't win Rookie of the Year, but that's not because he wasn't a Rookie of the Year candidate. I really just think he probably didn't get enough push from outside forces, or maybe there just wasn't enough eyes on him. But he really was, in my opinion, probably the third best rookie in that class of rookies last season. He averaged 17 points on decent efficiency, and you would think, okay, he just had a normal rookie season for a scoring guard, but if you take a really deep look at his stats last season, you would see how good he really is. In Jalen Green's last 10 games of the regular season, he averaged 25 points on 47% shooting from the field and 41% shooting from three. In his last 20 games, he averaged 22 points on around the same efficiency. Now, I'm not a master of stocks or finances or anything like that, but if I had to look at the numbers that he's posting up and the efficiency that he's getting these numbers at, I'd have to say that this is probably who he is, at least right coming into the season. 20 points on decent efficiency. Now, will he reach that benchmark? Probably not, but considering the fact that he was kind of close to averaging 20 points already in his rookie season, what's 3 more points on better efficiency? And to me, the way he plays, he just seems to me like the closest comparison to a Bradley Beal. Or at the very least, like a Jordan Clarkson, a guy who can score in bunches and just has an ultimate green light in terms of letting shots fly. And the only thing with him is that he just needs to be better defensively, but let's be honest, rookie is really going to be good defensively, so he has room to grow, and we'll see how he progresses or adds to his spectacular rookie season next season. Next, I got Kevin Porter Jr. Now, Kevin Porter Jr., I have this love for Kevin Porter Jr., and it's not because he's putting up crazy numbers or anything like that. I just like his story. Just unique to pretty much every NBA player. Kind of grew up under very strenuous circumstances because of his father being killed. And even though he was an excellent athlete and he was doing well in basketball, the tragedies that he was experiencing during his time away from the court still followed him, and even into the NBA, where he's having problems in the Cavs locker room or different other things that are happening. So he really did not have the traditional start of an NBA player. And just off of that alone, I still wanted him to see him succeed because I felt like he was such a high-level athlete and he just needed a chance to find a spot where he can grow. And that's where the Rockets came in and traded for him, and the rest is history. Now, Kevin Porter Jr. in his second season hasn't really blown anyone away with his stats. He's averaging 15 points on decent efficiency, and he's still learning how to play the point guard position. But something happened towards the latter half of the season that I think is absolutely spectacular for anyone who is a big fan of Kevin Porter Jr., like I am. In the latter half of the season, Kevin Porter Jr. was averaging 22 points and 7 assists on 46% shooting and 38% from 3. In the last 20 games that he played, he averaged 18 points, 6 assists on 43% shooting and 37% from 3. This is a massive upgrade to what he's been averaging all season, and it looked like he was getting better as the season closed. And if you're a stocks person, you know that once the trend becomes trending upward, you have to buy it before it becomes too high. And I'm telling you, I really do think that Kevin Porter Jr. is a 22 point per game scorer, 7 assist type of guy. He has all the tools for it. He even said it himself that he models his game after James Harden. And if you compare his game to James Harden this past season averaged 22 and 10. Now, I'm not saying that Kevin Porter Jr. is going to become James Harden. I think that's way too far-fetched. Even though James Harden, I believe, is on the downslope of his career, I don't think that he is at even at that level of James Harden, let alone MVP James Harden, who was averaging 36 on ridiculous efficiency. If Kevin Porter Jr. can muster up some form of James Harden's potential, or the potential that I believe that he is a James Harden's clone, then I honestly think he will be a player that takes a massive jump in his 3rd season. He'll take a massive jump in his 4th season, really showing the world that he is a leader of this team and will be a cornerstone for this franchise in the future. Now, the player that I think will be an underrated player for the Rockets from now until he really reaches his potential is Alperen Sengun. Alperen Sengun, for a lot of people who don't know him, is a 6'9" center who doesn't really flash you with anything crazy. He's not super athletic. He can't really shoot the ball that well. And in terms of rebounding, he's about average in terms of that side. Defensively, he isn't anything special either. But he is one of the smartest bigs in the league in terms of playmaking. This kid can make passes that you won't even believe. It's sometimes scary because he kind of looks like Jokic, and this is only his 1st season. He's making passes Jokic will make, and he's only a rookie. But he has a long way to go. Alperen Sengun seems to be an inside the arc type of center where everything is inside and there's not much of a shooting, there's not much of a 3-point game to him. But that actually is okay for this team. Alperen Sengun, with his passing ability, also with his inside the arc skills, if he can continue to progress, he can be a Walmart Jokic where he gets inside, uses his length and his height to get those little post hooks and those tap-in shots to go in. When he can't find those shots to go in, he can use his teammates to find cutters, to get open shooters, and just be effective on the court that way. And honestly, having elite scorers on the perimeter and also having a center that can pass in the middle, and he's very deadly at scoring inside, actually might be the way the NBA is moving. I mean, think about it. I mean, when you have a center who can pass and can score at an elite level, it frees up the entire team. And now this is me going on a tangent, but the Warriors have kind of like run this entire era for like the last decade off of off-ball movement. And the key of their off-ball movement is Draymond Green, a front court player who frees up the ball for Steph Curry. Well, what if I replace Draymond Green with a center who can score inside and can dominate the paint while also having a myriad of 3-point shooters and ball handlers that can hit threes when I pass them the ball and also can make nice cuts to the basket when needed to. That's kind of how the Nuggets are being built right now with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., but it's also how I feel like the Rockets are being built with Alperen Sengun and Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. I cannot wait for the season to start because just the thought of watching those three just play and be an exciting young team, I can't wait for the next season. I want to know what you guys think about what I just said. Do you guys think the Rockets are going to be a team to watch out for this next season? And out of the teams that I mentioned before, the Thunder, the Pistons, and the Rockets, what team do you think is going to win more games? Let me know in the comments and I'll respond to a couple of comments. You know, I kind of like to talk to you guys. You guys have a nice day. Peace.